Hey second grade, welcome to grammar. Today's Monday, February 8th, 2021. To start off, I want you guys to look at my little picture face thing. What sentence could you say to describe what my little person is doing? Well, I thought of a sentence, she is smiling. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this word right here, is. Now, you may not have realized it, but is actually is the verb in this sentence. Today we're going to talk about these kind of verbs. These verbs are called be verbs. And in your Journeys hardcover book, this is on page 118, we're going to read about the verb be. So this again is on page 118 if you would like to turn to it with me. But remember, you cannot write in your book. So if you would like to write any of these things down, you have to do it on a notebook or lined paper. All right, it says, the verb be. The verbs am, is, and are tell about something that is happening now. The verbs was and were tell about something that happened in the past. Use am, is, or was if the sentence tells about one noun. Use are or were if the sentence tells about more than one. Let's look at some examples of this. So now, this means that it's happening right now. I am tired. I is the subject. It's who the sentence is about. There's just one, so we use the verb am. I am tired. Anne is a teacher. Anne is a subject. There's just one, so we can use is. The boys are in Chile. Now, if it happened in the past, I was awake last night. Anne was a teacher last year too. The boys were in Mexico last week. Notice that both sentences with the boys, that has a plural subject. There's more than one. So the verb is are for now and were in the past. Looking at the page next to it. You can combine sentences that have the same subject and verb. This will make your writing smoother. The boy is a good reader. The boy is a good writer. Put it together to make a smoother sentence. The boy is a good reader and writer. Now, what's the verb in this? Is. That's our be verb in this sentence. Let's talk a little bit more about these be verbs. The verb be takes different forms. Is, are, and am are different forms of the verb be. They tell about something that is happening now. Make sure the form of be agrees with the subject. So, meaning we have to look to see if there's one, if there's more than one, or if it's talking about yourself using I. So we can use this thinking question. Does the subject tell about one or more than one, or is the subject I? So, use is with one. The snow is falling. The snow is a subject. It's just one thing, so we use is. The snow is falling. Our verb in this sentence is. Use are with more than one. The girls are happy. So the girls, that's more than one. So we have to use are. Our verb is are. Use am with I. I am warm in my coat. So it's when we have I, we have to use the verb, the form of be that is am. I am in my coat. So again, these words is, are, am, these are a form of the verb be. So in these sentences, these words is, are, am, those are the verbs. Those are the actions, the things that are happening. Let's look at some examples. Number 1 says, first the directions say, underline the correct sentence. So listen to these and let's decide which one sounds correct. The mountains is tall. The mountains are tall. The mountains am tall. Notice the mountains is more than one. So this first sentence wouldn't work because we use is when there's just one. Remember, we use am with I. This is not about I. It's not about like yourself. So we can't use am. That means the correct sentence is the mountains are tall. Remember, we use are when we have more than one. I is hiking. I are hiking. I am hiking. Which one sounds correct? That's right. I am hiking. When we use I, we have to use the form of be that is am. The path is narrow. The path are narrow. The path am narrow. What's the subject? The path. That's just one. So we can't use are because that's for more than one. And we can't use am because that's for I. So that means our correct sentence is the path is narrow. Last one. The cottage is near. The cottage are near. The cottage am near. What's the subject? The cottage. Just one. So that means we use the verb is. Now, let's practice this. Get out lined paper or a notebook. You're going to write at least 6 sentences. I said at least because you are welcome to write more. In these sentences, use your spelling words. So if you haven't already done the spelling activity, you need to do that before you can do this. Use your spelling words and use the form of be the forms of be that we talked about today. Specifically, is, are, and am. So in your sentences, when you use a spelling word, I want you to circle it. And when you use one of these forms of the verb be, put a box around it. For example, if my sentence was, the puppy is very happy, I used 2 spelling words, puppy and happy. So I circled them. Oh, actually, I used very too. Didn't realize that. So I circle them. And then I draw a box around the verb that I use, the form of be. Now my example sentence has 3 spelling words. You're welcome to use more than one per sentence. Or if you just happen to use one in that sentence, that's fine. But you're writing 6 sentences using spelling words and using these 3 verbs. Make sure to use is 2 times, are 2 times, and am 2 times. I will put the picture of the Journeys book page on Seesaw for you to look at to help you. Come to office hours if you need help. Thank you.